but crack rots your teeth away, and also you're not gonna end up like a prostitute. Alright, so what is this anabolic steroid that I'm talking about that is so magnificent? Well, people know it as Trenbolone or Tren, and Tren is crack. Why is it called Tren and crack in the bodybuilders? Well, it's very popular in the bodybuilding world, and this is why I'm gonna tell you that Tren is just like crack. So, getting first started back in the 80s, originally, let's get to the history of it. Let's get to the history of it first. First in the 80s, when it started to become a little bit popular, Dorian Yates loved it. It was Parabolan. And Parabolan came in the amps and ampullas, and it was about 75 milliliters per cc. That's how strong it was. And immediately when people used it, it was like, holy crap, you know, they got lean, they got vascular, veins started popping out, and they just gained a lot of muscle really, really fast, gained a lot of strength really, really fast. And so it became somewhat addictive when they started seeing these immediate results. And it was just unbelievable. Then it was off the market. When it came back into the market, it was known as Finaplex. This is something that was given to the animals. It was actually an anabolic given to the animals. Why was it given to the animals? Well, because it was very strong, and it was allowing the animals to increase their muscle mass, thus obviously for cows, so that they can make more meat, obviously for the farmers. So for the meat industry. So this is how it started coming. It started coming in Finaplex in the little tiny pellets, and a lot of people were making them at home, getting them the powder, and people were actually doing them in their home, creating their own little lab. All right, so when the lab started realizing that people were actually making this stuff at home from the Finaplex, then the labs basically started making it in the lab for human use from the powder form. And then they started making the two esters, which is the short and the long, Tren-Ace and Tren-E, which lasts 3 days and 12 days in the body. Same thing, still have 500 to 500 anabolic and androgenic ratio. So it's the same thing, but they were producing it as well for human use. So why is it crack in the bodybuilding world, and why is it loved so much, and why are the guys that have never used it, why are they so intrigued and obsessed with this unbelievable steroid? Here's why. Because you really do feel a difference immediately. People use it and you start to see a change. A lot of people still continue to eat what they normally eat, whether it's clean or not, and they will immediately start to notice a difference. That's not to say you should do it stuffing your face and eating like shit and eating like a pig, but it will cause a different type of effect than, let's say, just taking EQ and testosterone and anavar. This is a completely different animal and a completely different beast when it comes to an androgenic steroid, because you will see results immediately. It does get you lean, it does increase your core temperature, it actually does stimulate so many more muscle fibers much faster than regular testosterone or even DECA or anything else, because it stimulates more muscle fibers, which is why you increase muscle and you gain more muscle mass so much faster than any other anabolic steroid. You will get veins and you will get that dry look if you're already somewhat low body fat. If you're high body fat, you can forget about that. And it is the only one that actually allows you to help you retain muscle mass instead of going catabolic when you're in a caloric deficit, which is why a lot of men in the bodybuilding world love to use it all the way up to the competition as they're reducing their calories and doing extra cardio. So why is it exactly that I'm comparing Tren to crack, and why are there other videos out there saying that Tren is crack? Well, I'm going to tell you why. What is it about crack that crack addicts love so much? First of all, it's addictive. You get a reaction immediately, okay? You see the effects immediately. It does make you aggressive. It does make you change your state of mind. Sometimes it's gonna make you hallucinate. Other times it's gonna interrupt your sleep or your insomnia. You're not gonna get any sleep at all. And these are kind of some of the same exact side effects that you can or will get from Tren. And I know that from experience because I've taken it. People that know me, that know I've taken Tren, I'm sure you've seen my other videos. And yes, I know women aren't supposed to take Tren. Women, do not take Tren. Tren is not for you. I only took, again, for the record, 10 milligrams a week, which is probably about this much. You couldn't even see it in the needle, but that was enough for me to actually see the difference. I only did the cycle for, I think it was 3 or 4 weeks, but that's all I needed to do. But those are the similarities as to crack, because when you take Tren, you feel so good, you get so much strength, your body gets hot, you're increasing your calorie consumption while you're still able to burn fat, burn calories, get lean, get ripped, get super vascular, have a lot of strength, be a beast at the gym. Yes, it's gonna kind of change and get you aggressive, but the truth is, with all that comes the downside of it, and some guys get very aggressive and get way more mood swings because they take too much. This is also a steroid that men abuse most of the time. Most of the men that I speak to and most of the men that I know have literally taken Tren and have taken 2 to 3 and 4 times the actual dose that they actually need, because this is 4 to 5 times stronger than testosterone. You actually need a much lower dose than you think, which is why men get it all wrong all the time. If testosterone is 100 and 100 on the anabolic androgenic scale, Tren is 500 to 500 androgenic and on the anabolic side. So it's 5 times stronger, which means you actually need to take about 1/5 of the amount. If you're not competing, men, you don't need more than 100, 150 milligrams a week of Tren. I don't care what anybody says. Right, guys, write your comments down. How much have you taken? It's completely absurd what I hear. Even men that are competing, you really don't even need to take more than 300 milligrams of Tren a week. It's just not necessary. And this is when you're gonna get into huge side effects, and you're really just gonna become an actual animal, and you're just gonna scream, and you're gonna put yourself in a mental state that is not a healthy mental state. So men, please be careful with this anabolic steroid. Again, it has amazing benefits, but you have to know how to use it. You have to know how to respect it and not abuse this steroid, because it will cause a lot of side effects and it will take control over you. Another thing to remember, men pay very close attention. When you take Tren, you have to have test as a base. Test is mandatory and it has to be paired with Tren. You can't just take Tren and think everything's gonna be great, okay? It's not. You will shut down within a week. And if you don't shut down within a week, you're gonna shut down on day 8, 9, or 10, but you will shut the F down. It has to be mandatory taken with testosterone, because you will shut the testosterone down, period. At the same time, it's going to stimulate your lactating hormone. What does this mean? You should be taking Proviron. A lot of guys are from old school. I take Caber. Yeah, Caber's great, but Caber is old school. It's 9 million years ago, and it only has one benefit, and that's to block the lactating hormone. When you take Proviron, it has multiple benefits in addition to blocking the lactating enzyme. So you're gonna increase progesterone, you're gonna free up your free testosterone, and it's going to block you and help you help you to have your front runners, which are your, let's say if you're using DECA or MPP or D-ball or TEST, it's gonna allow your front runners to work better and to prevent you from side effects. So Proviron is basically your ADT, it's your safeguard, it's the one that's protecting your home, it's your armor that protects you in your cycle. So Proviron should be, if you're a responsible cycle doer, it should be in every single cycle, period. And then you better have an AI ready, because you will be aromatizing if you don't do it right. So I don't care if it's once a week or twice a week, depending on how fast men aromatize, but you better have your AI ready, have your complete cycle ready, which is gonna be HCG and your AI and your Proviron, and then whatever else you're gonna run with your Tren and test, maybe throw some orals in there as well, depending on what you wanna do and what purpose and what you wanna get out of it. And also keep in mind, when you get off of the Tren cycle, and let's hope you didn't blast 600, 700, 800 milligrams of Tren a week, because then you're gonna be effed. But the recovery, and when you do a PCT, just remember this, it's gonna be twice as long for your body to recover and to come back from Tren. Keep that in mind. You have to respect this steroid. It's very, very powerful. There are a lot of benefits to it, but you have to know how to manipulate it and include it in a cycle and provide a complete cycle when you're doing Tren, or Trenbolone, or Trenbolone as they say, but all those names are actually correct, so you can call it any of those 3. Hope you liked the video, everyone. If you did find value to my video and you did gain some knowledge and you liked my video, you found it informative, then please like, share, and subscribe. I would really appreciate everybody to comment so we can engage. If you've taken Tren before, Excuse me? And if you've taken Tren before, then please give your comments. If you messed up, if you didn't, or somebody recommended it to you, if you're scared of it, if you want to take it. If you need a consultation, go to my website and book a consultation at www.miamilifeandfitness.com, or you can just email me, miamilifeandfitness@gmail.com. And if you really like this video and you really loved my free information, then give us super thanks. It's going to be the little heart. I don't know why they took it away, but it's going to be right next to the share and more. Hit those little 3 dots, and there's going to be a heart that says for the super thanks. So everyone, thanks again for your support, and stay tuned because the next video is going to be about trust alone, because that is the real God.